I want to make an updated Legion Atlas guide for currency farming, as it's very, very strong. I've gotten the question a lot of times, like, hey, how do you make money on Legion? Is it still good? Is Legion nerfed? And the answer is no. Legion is still exceptionally strong. It's actually one of the strongest tier 16 strats you can currently do. So first, let's just get some gameplay real quick. So it's just standard Legion Dunes. This is like mid-investment Legion Dunes. So you're doing Delhi, you're doing Beyond, and you're doing 4 legions in a map. You could do 5, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, you rush to the boss, you kill him, and then you just open all the legions and go on your way. This is also 8 modded maps, which are very important, and I'll also talk about that in a second. There's a lot of people run Legion Dunes out can go, and while that is good for a low investment budget, 8 modded Dunes is really, really strong, and you should be doing it if you aren't doing it. Especially this league, since all 8 mods are very cheap and easily self-farmable as well, if you want to self-farm your own 8 mods. So yeah, it's just standard Legion Dunes gameplay, as you can see here. Nothing special, right? You clear all the legions, pick up all the loot. Generally, I pick up the loot at the end of the map. So I'll clear all the legions, then pick up the loot, and that's generally the most efficient way to do it. And just click altars as you get them, prioritize quant altars / ickers. So yeah, anyway, that's the gameplay. So, of course, most people are going to wonder, how are you making 25 divines an hour in Legion, and can I do this too? So I would say someone with a headhunter, which is, we can see right here, it's around like 10 divines, 12 divines right now, and a 6x21 LE bow, which is also around 10 to 12 divines, plus like 5 divines a year. You could probably do this at like 70 to 80% of my efficiency. Because, you know, tier 16 Legion with headhunter on a bow character is just easy. You don't get that much more strength from getting more and more gear. The biggest power you could possibly get is not like even a mirror bow, it's just a Nimis. So Nimis would be the biggest upgrade here. So like a mirror bow versus an LE tier 1 LE bow for this is like pretty much the same because it's weak monsters, right? Tier 16 isn't that hard. So that's the first question I want to get out of the way. Can you do this on a budget character? If your budget's around 30 divines, I'd say yes, you can easily earn at least like 18 divines an hour, I would say. I have the math in the spreadsheet right here, or notepad. Yeah, I did 2 tests of this because the first test I did, I maybe thought I got lucky because I made like 25 divines an hour, and I thought, okay, wait, is Legion Dunes actually this good? So I did a second 1-hour test, and it's like the answer is yes. So yeah, I did 19 maps. I have everything listed here. So yeah, 2.5C for Cardo Scarab, 1.5C for Legion General, 2x 1C Rusted Legion Scarab. So we're using 2 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. So you may be wondering, why are you using Cardo Scarab? The Cardo Scarab gives you essentially 50% more tier 17s, and tier 17s just sell for a lot, especially in bulk. Most tier 17s are selling for anywhere from 0.7 to like 0.9 divines, so it's a lot of extra currency, and I can highly recommend this. I think another great scarab to use, which I didn't get to test, but I think it might be even better, is the Nemesis Scarab. So rare monsters and areas have 2 additional modifiers. This is very good because 1, it makes your headhunter stronger as you still have more headhunter buffs, and 2, it makes every rare monster in your map have extra quantum rarity, as 1 modifier is more quantum rarity. So in with Legion, you're killing dozens and dozens of rares a map. So this is a lot of extra quantum rarity on your mobs. So yeah, very, very strong. I would say try this out with a Cardo Scarab. I didn't get to test it yet, but it should be very, very good. So yeah, these are the base scarabs we're using. All listed right here. Very, very cheap stuff. The only expensive thing is the 8 modded map, which is 15 chaos, which isn't even that expensive. And like I said, you can make your own 8 modded maps. All you gotta do if you want to like just self-sustain, instead of using this Cardo Scarab, just put in the Corruption Scarab, and you'll probably drop like 5 to 6 8 mods per map or something. Very, very easy and simple to do. There's also more dedicated more farms you could do. Like you can drop 20 to 38 mods this league. It's pretty easy, but yeah, I would say just buy them. 15 Cs, whatever. Farm them if you want. Yeah, Keurig 5C. So total cost per map is only 26 chaos, which is relatively cheap, especially for strategies that I do. Yeah, 1/6 of divine. 19 maps was a 3.9 divine investment, and the returns using Wealthy Exile, which I'll show in a second. And I only picked up essentially a loot worth like 1.5 chaos or more. In the second test, I picked up 1 chaos or more, so I did start picking chaos. Yeah, 23D from regular drops, scarabs, div cards, tier 17 maps, and tier 60 maps. 32 divines if you include lucky drops. So I did drop a Curation Scarab, and I also dropped a couple of Lightens, so I didn't include this in the profit. but like these are drops you can get while doing Legion. Like you will eventually drop a curation because you are taking this Atlas node, which just makes you drop lots of scarabs when doing Legion. So yeah, I didn't include it, but you will drop it eventually. 4.4D in currency tab, 7.4D if you include the 3 divines. On the first test, I dropped 3 raw divines. I think on average, you can expect 2 divines. I honestly would say like 2 to 3, to be honest. You can expect, I think, somewhere around 2 to 3 raw divines in 19 maps. It's pretty realistic when doing this many legions and killing this many monsters. It's really, really consistent. So yeah. The total, we got anywhere from 27 to 30 raw divines, not counting the lucky drops. Oh, I got 27 to 30 divines in profit, not raw divines. And with our investment cost, that's 23 to 26 divines an hour. Like I said, not including the lucky drops. If you include lucky drops, this is over 30 divines an hour. Yeah, and then of course I put it right here. So at 12 bucks an hour, which is only 5 minutes per map, I think this is very realistic for almost any bow character to do. You can definitely do a full Legion map in 5 minutes with this, like I said, Headhunter and a good bow, which are both extremely cheap this league. You can expect to make 16 divines an hour at these rates, which is really realistic and also just very, very good, right? 16 divines an hour is very, very strong. So yeah, let's move on to the profit real quick. So this profit is from the second test I did. So the second test, I actually got 5 raw divines, higher than my first one, and 3 raw exalts. So if you don't know, divines and exalts are the same drop ratio. So I got a little bit lucky in divines. Maybe I should only drop 2 divines, but still, yeah, like I said, you can consistently drop, I think, 2 to 3 raw divines an hour with this strategy. Legion just drops lots of divines with the incubators. Where does the profit from Legion come from? The answer is everything. I get this question all the time, and it's always just everything. So here's the currency tab. You can see it's 11 divines, divine orbs, stacked decks, chaos orbs, so easily sellable bulk currency items, right? Nothing here is hard to sell. Incubators, you want to use yourself, so you would not sell these. You know, a ornate incubator, you get more than 4.5k of value per 1 incubator, so it's definitely worth using yourself over time. Scout orbs, chisels, and kindle orbs, just basic stuff. I took out the reports because you probably want to sell that. So yeah, this all easily bulk sellable items. Nothing here is something that you would not sell, right? And if you do like 10 hours of this, you can easily sell all this currency in bulk. You know, just go to your tab. Let's say you're selling alts, right? Check the price of alts. 1/500 and it's selling divine. So I just do 1/550. And that's it, right? It's very, very easy to bulk sell this stuff. Now the second tab is the big profit one. So 19 divines, and you can see majority of our currency comes from 2 really easy, essentially sellable things. Maps and the fortunates. So fortunates you just turn in. Maps are very easy to bulk sell. Tier 17 maps. So in the first test, I got 13 maps. On the second test, I got 8 maps. So I'm not really sure what the average you should get. It's probably around there, right? Around 10 maps per hour with the Cardo Scarab. So yeah. I also got some meat sacks, all flames. These are more than 67 chaos. You can easily sell these in bulk for like 100 chaos. But once again, this is kind of base wealthy exile price, and it's kind of 67 chaos. Dune's map, once again, easily sellable. You can sell these usually around 50 to 1 divine, 45 to 1 divine, which is just around 2.7 chaos. So yeah, very easy to sell these in bulk. And then scarabs, once again, easy to sell. Right, it's all very easy to sell stuff. And yeah, emblems are not the profit here. A lot of people always ask, hey man, emblems are really, really cheap. Is Legion actually still good? The answer is yes. Emblems are completely irrelevant to the Legion farm, especially this late into the league. So yeah, Legion profit is just from everything. Basic currency, maps, some amount of emblems, scarabs, the currently mechanics all flames. I didn't pick up any corpse. I just picked up a few all flames. And if you don't include this, right, it's still 17 divines. So even without the lead mechanic, it's obviously still very, very strong. So yeah, and in terms of all flames I've used, I did nothing. I just put my map in, 4 scarabs, and went. I did not worry about min-maxing all flames at all, because I want this to be relevant for future leagues as well. So yeah, I did not try to min-max the lead mechanic whatsoever, and took no lead mechanic nodes on my Atlas tree, as you can see here. Although taking these nodes right here, I would say, are pretty good, as all flames do sell for quite a bit. So if you want to take these nodes, feel free to. So that's that. Yeah, we got some fossils, and if you don't want to sell the fossils, it's less than like 60 chaos of fossils in total. So completely irrelevant to how much profit you make. And yeah. So yeah. roughly 25 divines an hour for me. Someone who has a lesser character, I think 12 maps an hour is really realistic. 5 minutes a map, you can definitely do that with a basic 30 divine bow character. You know, check my Google Sheets for bow characters. I have multiple POBs. If you're interested in player one, semi-MF characters. And I do recommend playing a shot MF, although it's not needed at all. MF does not affect like 80% of the loot that drops. My character is 70% quant. But it is just good because you just get extra drops. And a bow character, it's easy to fit in MF gear. But if you don't want to use MF gear, you don't have to. It's not needed whatsoever. It is just kind of free when doing Legion because Hunter gives you so much power from Legion. You kill so many rares that you're free to use this quant gear because it doesn't really slow you down because Hunter is just giving you all the power you need anyway, right? So yeah, that's about the whole video. If you got any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll link the whole atlas down below. Also, once again, make sure you're running 8 modded maps. I said this earlier in the video, but yeah, you want to be running 8 modded Dunes Legions. The reason why is that map quant is extremely powerful. It just makes you drop a lot more items. So if you're unsure how Legion works, the mobs themselves with the rewards don't get increased by item quant, but the mobs still drop loot like a regular rare monsters, and that gets increased by item quantity, which is, you know, also map quant. So if you have a lot of map quant and even player quant, the monsters are going to be dropping a lot of loot, like raw divines, raw currency, scarabs, etc. So map quant is very, very strong, and that's why I took all these map quant nodes. I guess a few things to mention. I do take blue altars over red. You can take red altars, but I prefer blue altars because it's more map quant, which means you're going to be dropping more maps, as map drop rates are affected by map quant. And you're going to be dropping more raw currency, more scarabs. I don't think red altars are that good this late in the league. I'd rather stick to blue altars. Also, the downsides are really easy compared to red altars, but it tends to be very annoying in my opinion. But you take red altars if you want. Deli plus Beyond. So I think Deli's extremely strong with this. If you can't handle Deli, which I mean you definitely should if you have a Hunter, you can take it out though. I think Beyond's the one thing you can replace. I don't think Beyond is like too good, but it's okay. So mess around with this if you want. If you take out Beyond, I would recommend to get the lead mechanic nodes right here and get these map nodes for more tier 17 drops. And you can also get the quant in the middle right here. So I'm not even sure this is the optimal tree. This is something that is made on today and just played around with it for like a few hours, and this is what I came up with. So yeah, feel free to mess on the tree, but I would say at least this tree alone made me 25 divines an hour, so it is pretty good. Maybe you can take away these emblem nodes to be honest, because it's not that that important anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. That's the whole video. Once again, any comments, feel free to leave it below. Legion is very, very strong, and I would say one of the best tier 16 strats you can do, at least on a bow character. If you're not a bow character, I probably wouldn't highly recommend this. Unless you're a wanderer, then yeah.